All right, so here at AIMExpo still, 2015, I'm here with Nate from Twisted Throttle. How's it going?
Going well.
Good. So you are the guy that designs all the Denali stuff, from what they tell me.
That is correct. So I'm the design director here at Twisted Throttle, and really my role is to manage the product design and development of our two house brands, which is the Denali Electronics and the Dry-Spec Dry Bags.
Okay. Steve and I have been talking a lot. I've been talking a lot about stuff that I've done on the Bonneville. I just put crash bars on it. He's been having light issues with his Stelvio, so we're both pretty interested in the Denali lights. What can you tell me about these things?
So Denali, we started Denali about 5 years ago, and kind of when the LED was really kicking in, and it kind of hadn't really been adopted into the motorcycle market all that much. So we really set out to make motorcycle-specific LED light kits. So we really wanted to kind of find super small, compact housings that were going to pack as much light into a small package that we could. They come 2 lights in the kit. They all come with the wiring harness, switch, relay, and everything in that kit. And as far as the actual lights that we offer, we offer 5 lights, and we really wanted to try to hit all different kinds of riding styles, bike styles with just a 5-light line instead of trying to have tons and tons of lights. So what's some of the unique things here is in a lot of LED light design, you can use a 5-watt LED, and that's what we're using here in the D4 and in this DM.
Right.
And you can just have as many, keep adding more 5-watt LEDs. It's what you'd see in like a light bar on a truck.
Yeah.
And you're going to get a lot of fill with that, but you're also bumping up the wattage. So what's unique is like our DR1 here, we're using a 10-watt LED in this DR1.
Okay.
And we're getting 800 feet of beam distance down the road because of the size of the reflector.
Yeah.
So the larger the reflector, the more light that you're going to get out of it. And it's kind of interesting. We're using the same 10-watt Cree LED in this D2. And you see that's going about 400 feet down the road, a little bit further. So that's kind of one of the unique things that you'll really only find in some of these Denali products is that single source LED that's taking a low current and just driving a crazy amount of light down the road.
Cool. So like for Steve's application, for instance, he's got lights mounted on his crash bars that keep shorting out and turning into useless hunks of metal.
Yeah.
What kind of setup would you recommend for like somebody who's just adding auxiliary lights?
So it's like if you're gonna add one set of lights, a lot of people add 2 sets. If you're gonna add one, I would recommend either the D2 or the D4 because it's a really good balance of distance and width. The DR1s are going to go about twice as far as these others, but it's a really hyper spot beam. Mm-hmm. So it's like you can literally see straight ahead 800 feet down the road, but it's not going to fill in to the sides of the road as much. So on his Stelvio and the crash bars, I would say depending on the style and the aesthetic, either the D2 or the D4s here.
Yeah.
This light is by far throwing out the most amount of light in our line, but it's a bigger light housing, so you kind of play that balance of how much light you want, how much room you have on a bike that size. A light like this isn't going to look big. You put this light on a sport bike, and it looks a little crazy. So
yeah, people are like, is that a camera? No.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a big light. I noticed.
How I should say though, these DR1s, because they're a single source LED, we have a whole line of snap-on beam filters.
Yeah.
And what's really cool about those is a lot of companies, other LED manufacturers, will do some beam patterns on the lens. We've integrated that onto a snap-on filter, so you can take a spot beam and just click on the filter and change to a flood or to a wide-angle Euro driving beam, or change from just the bright white to an amber for fog.
Yeah, I noticed.
So that's a really versatile light in addition to these other 2 here.
Right,
and that's the only one that has that snap-on beam filter option, so you can kind of play with different configurations.
The TT100, the Bonneville that you guys dressed up to look super Mad Maxy and everything, I noticed has those amber filters on it.
Yep.
That look really cool.
We just wanted to kind of do something different there and show off the Denali lights, so we did a dual headlight.
Yeah, I think it looks really good.
And
I've been eyeing that kit to do that to mine for ever since you guys released it. What other kind of stuff other than?
Hey, let me ask Nate a question real quick. Steven behind the camera. The D4s, are those lights switchable? In other words, can you shut off one set of those lights?
No, they're not. They're all on one circuit.
Okay.
Yeah, but there is two different optics. We call it a hybrid beam pattern. So you can even see the difference. The top two are a 10-degree spot, and the bottom two are a 60-degree elliptical. And you probably can't see it on film here, but when you look at the Isolux, the actual beam pattern, you're going to get kind of a wide and a spot at the same time.
Okay.
So that's a really nice option there.
So besides driving lights, what other stuff is in the Denali brand?
So we have a line of horns. So we have the air horns, which are super loud, a compact version of the air horn, which is kind of the original.
Yeah.
And then it's really just a compressor and an acoustic unit. So it just blasts high pressure air through the acoustic unit, and that's why the horn is so much louder than a stock motorcycle horn. And then we have the split horn version, which actually comes in two separate parts. So
Right.
you can stash it in much tighter spots on your bike, hide it completely under the fairings. On my DRZ here, I actually just have it mounted on either side, and it's just not so big. Connect the two with the hose.
Right.
And then we just released a more traditional but super loud Sound Bomb Mini, and it's basically the same concept as a traditional disc horn, but it's got this additional acoustic unit, so that's going to be almost twice as loud as a stock disc horn and just bolt right into the stock spot.
Yeah, I've got a horn similar to this one out in the Bonneville, hidden underneath where the airbox used to be.
Yeah.
And I do enjoy the looks I get when I hit the horn.
Scare people. Give
Like,
them jump.
they're also just like, wait, was that motorcycle
where was
just make that noise?
Semi truck about to hit me here.
Cool. So, where can people find all this stuff?
So the best place to go is to the twistedthrottle.com, the distributor and worldwide distributor of the Denali products. We also sell to dealers, so we have a lot of stocking dealers all through the country that have Denali products on their websites and on their shelves in their dealerships.
Cool. Well, thanks for talking to us.
Thanks for asking the questions.